management is now taught in many universities and colleges. Security management as an independent course or discipline is taught in few universities. For example, even in our university, we have started with BA in security management, but mostly it is taught as a specialization or paper of criminology in many universities. According to this common center at Leicester University, security management is a part of criminology. So in today's workshop, we will focus on the link between criminology and security management. Hence, in today's workshop, all the three speakers or resource persons are criminologists who are successful in the field or profession of security management. The objective of this workshop is to provide guidance to the students who are interested to know more about corporate and industrial security. The resource persons will be enlightening you with the skills and knowledge required in this profession. So I will start by introducing the resource persons for today's workshop. Mr. John Paul Manickam is a corporate security professional and a vibrant leader with over 15 years in security operations, intelligence, risk assessment, JSIC operations, travel security, training and development of security personnel, and is currently heading the Joint Security Intelligence Center JSIC for Cognizant. Prior to joining Cognizant, he had stints in various security roles at global organizations like BNY Mellon, FL Smith, Fidelity Investments, and GRT Hotels and Resorts. Sir is a gold medalist in criminology and criminal justice science from the University of Madras. He teaches security and vigilance corporate security at various universities and colleges. He has trained over 11,000 civilians in first aid and CPR in the last 10 years. So now I will introduce you to the next speaker or resource person. Mr. Sailapathy Rajendran holds a master's in criminology and criminal justice science. He holds an overall 15+ years experience in the field of corporate security and administration in various industries. Currently working with BNY Mellon Persing as head of corporate security, and prior to this he has worked with HCL Technology, Intelnet Global Services, hotels and security service industries. He is a certified auditor for OSHAS, ISMS LA, disaster management, and certified first aider by St. John Ambulance and affiliated by Indian Red Cross. He also has NCC A, B, and C certificate and has functioned as under officers and participated in Republic Day parades. Mr. Ajay Singh Rathore is a UGC JRF holder in criminology. He has done his master's in applied criminology from Sardar Patel University of Police Security and Criminal Justice. Mr. Ajay Singh Rathore is a security executive at Reliance Industries Limited at Jamnagar. Prior to that, he has worked as a security officer at Vivanta by Taj Hotels and Assistant Director Research and Publications at UV Vikram Charitable Trust, Delhi. He has also worked as a guest faculty at Sardar Patel University of Police Security and Criminal Justice, Jodhpur. So I welcome all the resource persons, and without further ado, I would request my colleague and friend, Dr. Rufus D, to please deliver the welcome address. Hello, Dr. Rufus.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I just muted. Thank you, Dr. Fikar Lama, for calling me to give this welcome address for this workshop. Good morning to everybody. As we are aware, this e-workshop is conducted on national level on the topic corporate and industrial security as an opportunity, as a career option for criminologists, opportunities and challenges. And to proceed the e-workshop in a formal way, that I like to welcome the speakers and all the participants. Okay. However, Dr. Lama has done all the job and welcome the speakers. Once again, I like to formally welcome. First of all, I like to welcome the speaker, Mr. John Paul Manickam. He is heading Joint Security Intelligence Center for Cognizant. and he would be sharing with us his experience and views and concern on the topic which we have brought here today. Uh, I also like to extend my happiest welcome to Mr. Sailapathy, and who is with us now. Um, in fact, he is my contemporarian. We did our masters in criminology and criminal justice in Manickam Sundarnar University, the same batch. So, for saying about him, since then I know that he is a very kind-hearted person and sincere in the any job he is taking. For saying about his dedication in the field of security, I know just after completion of his masters, immediately he has joined in the corporate security. He has connected himself. So for 15 years he has spent in this field. So I welcome Mr. Sailapathy, and I also like to welcome Mr. Ajay Singh, who is former student of us. Now he is working in the well-known Reliance Industry Security Limited as executive security. So I am very happy to welcome my student, Mr. Ajay Singh Rathore. So apart from all, I like to welcome all the participants who are at the various designation of students, especially students from Sardar Patel Police University, Criminology department, and other students, other criminology students, and some faculty members from other universities, and some people out of the security field. They also have joined to sharpen their field knowledge once again. So I welcome all of you. So though we are in the organizing side, so I cannot avoid welcoming our organizers. That I like to really appreciate Mr. Srikal Lama for having conceptualized this theme for the workshop, and now getting it done for the students. I also like to welcome our another colleague, Miss Sheetal Arora. She will be joining with us sooner. And I also like to welcome Mr. Jay, who is rendering his technical support all the time for us in such kind of e-platform workshops which we are organizing. A warm welcome to all of you. Now, with this thing, I wish we all would be having a great day for enhancing our knowledge in the field of corporate security. And I hope this is going to be very, very useful for the criminologists who are choosing or who are willing to take a chance in the corporate and industrial security field. Once again, I like to thank my colleague, Dr. Lama, for having given this opportunity for me. Thank you. Thank you.
Speaker, you're on mute.
Hello?
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'll just introduce you to the program, how we are supposed to go about it. First of all, Mr. John Paul Manickam will give a very quick summary of what they are going to cover, or what all the resource persons are going to cover in the three sections. And then Mr. Sailapathy will talk about his part, and then Mr. Ajay Singh Rathore will talk about industrial security. And then again, Mr. John Paul Manickam will close the panelist section, and then we will have the forum open for question and answer session. So now I hand over to Mr. John Paul Manickam. Sir, please.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I would request all of you to go on mute. Just check your audio. Please go on mute so that it would be audible for everyone, an enhancing experience for everyone. Great. Thank you so much. If there is anything, you can let me know. I hope you hear me loud and clear. Right. So thank you so much, Speaker. Thank you so much, Jayesh. Thank you so much, Rufus, for welcoming me, Sai, and Ajay. uh, and such a beautiful occasion, and a proud occasion as well, to have all criminologists being here and looking forward for the future. And it's very vital for all of us to look at what's our next step, right? And I would summarize this workshop in the next 1.5 hours or 2 hours, that this will break a lot of myths, and this will help you to even prepare yourself for the future, even if you're not getting into corporate security. Right. So that is what I see it as a value. This workshop will add in your career, or students who are waiting to begin your career. Right. So um, at 10 o'clock, when the clock ticked at 10 o'clock this morning, and there were 26 people, and out of that, 5 are organizers, right? And the registrations are 250. This is what corporate security will change in your life: discipline, values. If you're committed yourself into something, and corporate security is about saving lives, it's not some projector not working, some fire extinguisher not working, and you will go and mend it. It's about dealing with valuable lives. And when you're not on time, when you're not committed fully, when you're not putting your lives at stake, you will not be able to save lives. And this is what will change when you enter corporate security. So this is what we're going to talk about all through this 2 hours. Sai is going to talk about the preparation, career to campus, the transition, what you need to do now. And Ajay has a bunch of opportunities available in different sectors. And finally, I'll join to summarize and also talk about why criminologists, why not criminologists, and then a lot of myths we'll break it today. And I'll share some real-time stories as well. And why corporate security is an adventure, right? And why corporate security is an exciting journey. This is what we're going to talk about today. And we just did a quick poll, and around close to 120 people responded to the poll, just for me to understand the audience, for us to understand the audience. And obviously, close to 84 percentage are looking for a job immediately after your course, whether graduation or post graduation, which means this is your uh, you are looking for beginning your career, looking for survival, you're looking for creating your own identity in this huge market. So this is a very valid topic. Thank you, Swikar and Jayesh, for looking kind of taking efforts to bring this topic, because corporate security is a field which will give you job opportunities all over India, and few opportunities abroad as well. Right. And so when I asked you the different options people have currently, or people are having ambitions to pursue, and yeah, so corporate security stands the highest. And I'll tell you, a lot of people on the state police, central police dreams, civil services, mostly they end up in corporate security. So the percentage will increase, right? I'm not saying the success rate is not good in the governmental jobs, but you try. I was a civil service aspirant. I wrote it for 4 times. So, but corporate security gave me a life, exciting, rewarding, and valuable uh, kind of uh, great growth, great travels around the world. Maybe I don't know if that would have happened in my civil services career. The way I grew, the way I learned different aspects, and corporate security is scalable. It keeps getting upgraded every threat. When 9/11 happened, things changed around the world. When 26/11 happened in Mumbai, things in India changed. Security, the way people looked at security in organizations changed, right? So we're going to look at most of the things. And when I asked you how many of you have in-depth corporate security knowledge, uh, most of you would have only seen the tip of the iceberg when you see from the outside world. You would have seen security guards wearing uniforms, kind of, um, uh, I think someone has to stop meddling with the presentation. I think somebody is trying to present something. So I hope my presentation is being seen now. Can you confirm anyone?
No, John, we can't see your presentation.
No, John.
Yeah, because somebody is meddling with it. You know, to
Everyone is requested to not present the screen and put your video and audio on mute mode, please.
Please don't press the present now button because we are seeing your mobile presentation out there. So please don't disrupt the workshop. So you can continue. We are seeing your presentation. I don't know.
I'm just sharing it again. Huh? Okay. So the in-depth knowledge of corporate security is very, very tough because the industry can't expose itself to various things we do in corporate security inside the organizations, big MNCs, international organizations. They don't come out and say what and all is available inside corporate security. So a lot of students come with an expectation or a question that, or an assumption. In security, assumption is a very bad word. It is making ass of you and me because you're dealing with lives. So a lot of assumptions are there that security job is this much. A guard standing in front of the gate, somebody opening the door, carrying luggages. I was called a watchman when I started this job in 2005, right? So in-depth knowledge about corporate security will only happen when you bring in industry experts and allow them to share their experiences, because these are vital information which organizations don't share it outside. So even job opportunities don't come outside. They don't even come out mostly in Naukri or Monster or Shine or Indeed to recruit, because it's a very close industry. So that is why this workshop is going to be very, very beneficial. And so when I asked how many universities, how many colleges where you're studying currently as a course, good, this number has increased. But the last question was, who's teaching you that? And that is where I still again encourage the universities and colleges to look into their own syllabus and upgrade syllabuses, bring in experts. Now with COVID-19 situation, the boundary has been broken. You can bring in people all around the world to teach just with a screen, differentiating between students and the expert. And it becomes easier for bringing people who are currently in the industry to teach, because they are updated. They know what's the current threat. And every week and every month and every year, the risk and threat scenarios keeps changing. So it's very, very vital for you to understand that I'm not against ex-servicemen or retired police people teaching security and vigilance. But if you really wanted to understand corporate security, then you need to bring in somebody who is in corporate security currently, because that is where the job happens. Criminology students have a problem when they transition from campus to career, because what they are taught in colleges and what is expected in the organization is completely different, almost 360-degree different. So that is where the problem lies. So that is where this workshop is going to break some myths as well. So I'm not going to take much time. I'll again come back at the end of Sai and Ajay session, and then I'll talk more about what I have in store. But I welcome each one of you. I'm going to have a great time. I hope I can even find some great talents in this group of 100 plus people for the future, right? So that is how I look at this as an opportunity. Now, my friend Sai, we both grew together. We started our career together. I was from University of Madras, Sai from MSU, Internal Valley. But it has been a 15 years journey as friends, colleagues, peers, learners. And so when Stricker asked me, who do you want to be part of the panel apart from Ajay? And I said, Sai should be a great person because he has his own experience. Yeah, he came from the rural parts of India to create his own identity, and I would allow him to speak and share his experiences. And Ajay, I was very happy. See, again, somebody is meddling. So I think students, you need to be very, very careful. So I'm not sure now. Again, I need to again share.
Everyone is requested to pin on screen when Johnson is presenting. Please pin on the screen.
These are things you need to learn a lot, because this is really disrupting the session. Okay, I'm not sure. Again, I need to share it again. Hold on. So I'll share my screen again, but in introducing Sai, it is a great journey. And when I saw Ajay Singh Rathore yesterday, when we were kind of testing ourselves, I feel very happy that somebody who's an alma mater from this university kind of rose himself to a beautiful security professional, handsome man, and kind of going to present his own views at this young age. So I'm really happy that kind of Ajay is here as well. So looking forward to hear Ajay as well for the first time from my side. So great. So coming to Sai, I'll allow Sai to take over. And before I kind of allow Sai, this is what we're going to talk about, right? Access to world-class technology, everyday learnings. This is all about corporate security, and this is my JSIC, the Joint Security Intelligence Center I have built in Cognizant, and so this monitors the whole globe. And if you really want to access scalable, world-class technology, learn every day, and then you need to be in the other side of the world, inside corporates, big corporates who are ready to spend, who are ready to challenge risks around the world. And so you won't believe the excitement and the experience we get every day is amazing and unique as well. Right, over to you, Sai, and Sai will be talking about campus to career, the preparation part of it. I'm going to go on mute.
Thank you very much, John, and good morning all. So, thanks for giving this opportunity to the Department of Criminology and Police Studies and Sardar University and speaker who organized this virtual event. So, why? Let me jump into the subject straight, because they have given me a brief introduction about me and everything. So, I'll directly jump into the subject. So, why criminology? So few would say they're interested in the joint law enforcement agency and related jobs. Few would say it's a new course and explore something new. And some people would say to join other related jobs related to criminology. This is what we feedback used to get when you interact with the criminology students are coming out and freshers from the criminology students. And whatever it might be, when you are entering into your second year of the course, you should decide what career path you are going to pursue. Because that is the reason we have done some polls also. So hope all of you gone through the polls. So there are many career opportunities related to criminology in civil security. So people are not, our criminology students are not aware, or they are not build their required skill sets. When we are looking for some candidates or fresh candidates from the criminology students, they are not equipped or build up their skill sets. So here, what kind of skill sets you have to upskill or reskill? First, the communication. It does not mean the language, just language alone. It includes presentation skills and how you are presenting the particular topic, and the listening skills. The security industry is very important, the listening skills. So the command from that your senior people, you have to listen and execute that commandings and asking questions. So it shows your openness to learn. When you are fresher, it shows your openness to learn about the security, the corporate security world. So then interpersonal skills. If you talk about the interpersonal skills, there are many. Take few which are required in the field of corporate security. The first one is a teamwork. I believe the good team player will be able to manage a good team in future when they are growing into next level, and when they are going to handle the teams. The good team player only can manage their team good manner. And empathy. It is very important in corporate security. When we handle corporate security, we would receive many complaints, grievance, and they may be nervous when they come and tell us. They may be nervous that people who complain to us, they may be nervous. So here we could apply our psychology studies, empathy their situation, and console them, and get their inputs. And assertiveness. The corporate security is very important. That assertiveness, you have to be assertive at all the times. We do not know when the threat would come. Especially in corporate security and the hotel security, we could not find the threats. And another major thing is time management. You have to manage your time. And another thing, job-oriented skills through courses. As a student, you would have there are sufficient time to learn and upskill your skill sets. So there are a lot of courses related to corporate security, physical security, and the investigation in the market. If you search through Google, you will find it. For example, the basic life support and first aid, fire and safety, basic information security. Each subject, each courses could take around 2 to 3 days or some very minimal days. You can learn basic things. You can learn it. And another thing, the additional language. This is the added value when you are entering into the corporate security, because we may have interact with other country and other state. So if we take it in Tamil Nadu or Tirunelveli University, I used to say my juniors and junior criminology students to learn Hindi. Because of that, many of them lose their opportunity in moving into north side of India. So additional language is very important to upskill your development. And yeah, seize your opportunities. So as John rightly said, the networking, build your network. So 15 years back, when myself and John, we started our career, we do not have such sophistication in the networking facility. Now there are a lot of social networking and social medias are there, like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. So Facebook, Instagram, you will give a request to your known person or your friend or something. But if you take it in a LinkedIn, you will find a lot of persons in the corporate security. People who are expert in the corporate security people are there. You can follow them and seeking their help. When because as John rightly said, that corporate related jobs will not come into that market, and they will not post in the Naukri thing, because it is a trustworthy thing. The people who wanted to have a people to get it from the known person, because myself, John, and other our colleagues or criminologists are in Chennai, we used to get people from our known sources. So the networking is very important. Build your network in your college day itself. That will help you to get the right job and the right time. And the second, the internships. So choose your internship under what career you want to pursue. There are a lot of opportunity in corporate security, and it won't come into the market. And internship also, many IT companies will not provide the internships because of their internal restrictions and internal security threats. They will not provide. So if you connect through the networking, we will help you to provide some contacts to learn internship about the corporate security and develop your resume. Hope all hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you. So I thought I left something. Yeah. So as an interviewer of corporate security requirement, what would expect from your resume? So what are the efforts you have taken when you are during a college time? So what are the efforts you've taken and how you groom yourself when you are in college time to enter into the corporate security. That is what we expect. So attend your skill set, attend your internship, what are the internships you have attended, what are the skill sets you have developed. This kind of way we see in your resume when you're recruiting for the corporate security field. And prepare your resume on your own. Because when I take an interview of criminology students and a fresher, I could see many resumes in copy paste. So prepare your own resume and put your own job requirement. So if you're looking for corporate security, don't mix up with other kind of your internships or other kind of your experience or skill sets. So make it put it in a resume, but focus on your core corporate security thing. And another, get ready for relocate and travel. So at all the times, you will not get the jobs where we born and brought up. So if you take it me, I born and brought up in the semi-rural kind of area, and I moved to Chennai, and so it's been 15-year journey from after my completion of criminology, and now I'm a head of corporate security for the MNC, and I started my career in the lower level. So get ready, relocate, and travel. That is another thing you have to concentrate. And there are a lot of opportunity. So like if you take it in the security industry, hotels industry, corporate security, and vigilance department, private investigations, industrial security. So I have mentioned overall names of the industry names. Within that, there are much more branches out there. I think Ajay would cover in detail. So, and transformation from the students to civil security. So here it would help what all the skills you developed during your college days, that would help here. That organization or your manager could expect from you many things. So I would say few examples, like quick learner. So you have to be a quick learner when you're entering into the field, and eagerness to take responsibility, and problem solving and decision making. So problem solving and decision making, it is very important, because many times as a corporate security profession, you have to be handled independently on the particular facility or industry. So that time you need not to depend your manager or your senior people. You have to take a call, the right decision you have to take it. And as I mentioned earlier, the team player and the leadership skills you have to develop, because when you're growing into the corporate security world, you may handle the bigger group of security people under you. The leadership skills is very important. And during this transformation, most of the people would face a similar kind of challenges. So you would face your senior people, experienced people in the field of corporate security. They might be veterans in the defense background or in the same security field in many years. So when I start my career, so my counterpart is around minimum 10 years above than me. Till I'm facing the same challenge, my counterparts are minimum 7 to 5 years or 7 to 10 years above than me. That is how we have to face the challenges in the corporate security world. So to compete them, we have to equip ourselves very quickly and learn things very quickly. That is how we can compete with those people, the veterans and the senior security experienced people. And the most important thing is patience and plan right move. Once you started your career, at least minimum 3 years you have to be stick on the organization, because that is your learning period with incentives. Because in my experience, many freshers are coming to the security field, and then immediately they'll move into some other security people are calling them 3,000, 2,000 different. They will move on. So this is not a right thing. So you have to learn, understand the basic ground realities. Then only you can lead the team when you are growing to the higher level. And finally, the values are trust and integrity. The corporate security, it is very important because entire organizations trust their corporate security and leave their valuables at office and industries. Because you have to be trust to the organization, trustworthy to the organization, and integrity is the most important. So finally, I would say share my personal experience and complete this. So as John said, I came from semi-rural background, and when I moved to metropolitan like Chennai, so I faced lot of challenges. Like I don't know nobody in Chennai. So I started my career as a security supervisor in hotel industry. From there, I moved into the security service industry. Then I moved into the IT industry. The slowly, and I build my networks. So wherever they have security related forums or meetings, I'll go and attend. I'll build my network, and through contacts only I have grown this much of level. So always I would say build your networks. So that is a very important. So then it's been around 10 years I'm in the IT and ITS corporate security. So under me around 100 and 150 people are working as a different layers of security field like security executives and security supervisors and other security guards. So this is my journey. Thank you, John. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Sai, for sharing what students needs to do currently when they are in the college. The time is precious. You prepare yourself, then it helps you to deliver, execute, get the right start. I would now Sai will be there for you to answer questions at the end, but I would expect Ajay to immediately take over and share his own experiences and opportunities in corporate security. Ajay, over to you, and the screen is with you.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm just checking whether I'm audible enough.
Yes, sir.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. And I would like to request John, sir, to please unshare your screen so that I can share my screen.
Done, Ajay.
Thank you, sir. So good morning, one and all. Once again, thank you to organizers for organizing this wonderful workshop for the future aspirants into the industrial and corporate security world. I would like to thank John sir and Sai sir for accompanying me with a structured workshop to enlighten and showing the great pathways to the good aspirants. Thank you, Sai sir, for giving the foundations and the basis for jumping into the industrial and corporate security world. It is very necessary to groom self to make one ready for going into this field. So security career opportunities in areas of business, industry, and government vary, but all have a common theme to protect the enterprise while mitigating risk. Whether you recognize the protection function by titles such as loss prevention, security administration, or industrial security, the basic function of modern security remains the same. So security professionals are hired by many different organizations at all levels, be it line, lower, middle, and upper management, corporate, and so on. These appointments are diverse of roles, responsibilities, and accountabilities. Security considered as a support function, but it is not independent, and there are numerous interpersonal relations with other departments within and outside the organization. The diversity of roles in the field provides numerous ways for security professionals to identify a career pathway that fits their skills and interests. And these are categorized here into professional, managerial or directorial, and execution level positions.
Ajay, sorry to interrupt you. You need to share your presentation again because somebody again meddled with it. Share it again.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Everybody is requested to pin on the presentation screen so you can watch it continuously.
I hope this is visible now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible.
So I was talking about the different levels and stages. So each stage typically requires a general knowledge of security management, specifically coupled with expertise related to their roles and position levels. So considering the purpose of this very workshop, I will discuss only professional levels. Actually, professional level are the doers, the management levels are delegators, and the executive levels are for vision and strategy planning and all. So being new to the industry, new to the corporate security, we need to understand the requirement and the expectations from the professional level. So there are different titles, responsibilities, traits, competencies, skills required, and as also discussed by Sai sir, we'll discuss what others needs to be done as a gap, skill gap identified in majority of new professionals. So there are variety of titles in this domain. You will find security officers, security supervisors, coordinator, security specialist, private investigator, which varies according to the organizations or to the specific purpose of security in the domain. And then according to those, you have different responsibilities. Specific responsibilities includes managing security operations, monitoring and responding to threats, planning and coordinating procedures. And the important skills which are really required, as also discussed by Sai sir, will include the fundamentals of security, investigation skills, integrity, collaboration, creative problem solving, professionalism, and especially planning and organization. And what is seen majorly is the gap of common skills, which includes crisis management, risk management, and importantly, project management. These are the holistic skills, but are the group and bunch of very small and very life skills, which already discussed by Sai sir. So, without deviating from the main topic which I am supposed to talk about, are discussing many avenues, many pathways into this field. So, among organizations that have security operations are bank, college, government agencies, shipbuilder, defense contractors, equipment manufacturers, hospitals, public utilities, restaurants, hotels, retail stores, insurance companies, museums, other institutions, mine farming, oil companies, supermarket, telecommunications, internet companies, software producers, transportation companies, offices and buildings, and list keep on moving. So within each of these broad areas, security personnel performs many different functions, including personal protection, infrastructure security, disaster management, crime prevention, employee investigations, guard force management, investigations, physical security, crisis management, plant security, fire prevention, and also environmental health and safety. So now I'll discuss some of the available and growing career opportunities in security one by one, each of these. Personal security or say protection of high professional, you must have heard of VIP bodyguards and executive protection. Why this is important? With the danger of kidnapping, different types of threats from outside an organization and threats from inside an organization, which called the disgruntled employees. The demand for these executive protection specialists or called bodyguards continues to increase. The executive protection professionals is not the tough guy which generally portrayed in Bollywood movies or Hollywood movies. The executive for protection of the 21st century must be a well-trained, sophisticated, and a thorough professional, which, in which training involves many factors like familiarity with new technologies, understanding electronic threats to privacy, and understanding how to prevent embarrassing situations for the subject. Moreover, traditional self-defense skills and firearms proficiencies are still critical and necessary skill sets. That's why majority of professionals you will find the ex-servicemen in this group. What protection specialist needs is a large dose of common sense, the ability to pay attention to detail and patience. Also, a protection specialist should be a loyal, honest, discreet, alert, quiet, dignified, and mentally and physically fit. So there you can find a good career opportunities. Next, I'll talk about the brand protection. This is a new area of security called brand protection, and it is very evolving. Brand protection in some cases falls under the security department, and in other instances is a standalone specialty function within an organization. Brand protection works to mitigate damage to a company's brand reputation, which includes reputational risk reviews as well as mitigations of counterfeiting and grey marketing of company's products. Most consumers choose a product based on its reputation for quality, and they come back and time again to the quality, reliability, and safety in a broad area of consumer products, including fast food, electronics, games, pharmaceuticals, and name just a few. Directly protecting a company's brand and its products directly protect the consumer while also capturing the protecting revenues. You see, there are a lot of opportunities in top brands like Apple, Samsung, Philips, and I would suggest one of my batchmates also get the first job in brand protection, for Philips and Samsung, which was hired by the third agency. So next, I'll discuss about the private investigators. These private investigators do the work for gathering, facts or an information finder for evaluation purposes. In a sense, these private investigators are researchers who spend the greatest portion of time collecting background information for pre-employment checks on personnel, post-employment checks for candidates, for promotions, for sensitive positions, background checks for applicants for insurance or credit, and investigations of insurance claims. Much of this work is non-crime related, although it may involve either part of full-time, undercover investigation, and employee theft, workmen's compensation fraud, and detection of shoplifting. Many investigators work for businesses and lawyers, whereas others work independently. So if you see at corporate world, there are private investigators are part of on payroll of the organizations, and there are freelancers investigators to whom corporate worlds hire for some specific assignment or for some specific investigations. So independent officers may be only one person operation or maybe employ several operative or contract works to part-time investigators. But good private investigator develops skills that include the ability to conduct thorough surveillance and background checks that need to be kept in mind. The next avenue which I will discuss is about retail. Retail is the giant market for the security professionals, I would suggest you. The retail field provides a diversity of job opportunities in security, from the entry-level position of the uniformed security officers, or say the blazer or jacket host, to the internal theft investigators, or to the chief, or in the C group. Positions are available with the both retail stores and chain as well as with security services, which provides such services as undercover and shopping investigations. There are many openings for those without experience, but with the education, ambition, and aptitude that might make them successful in retail security. Today, many companies provide their own training for shoppers and other investigators. even though the employees have no investigative experiences. Alertness, resourcefulness, courage, and self-assurance are often more important than specific experiences. There are many different types of cooperation in the retail industries. Security has had its impact in virtually every operation. The discount stores, the department stores, the supermarket, and the recognition of the importance of inventory shrinkage to the company's profit picture and the necessity for loss prevention is or soon will be almost universal. In the words of one ranking retail executive, those companies do not accept the necessity simply will not remain in business. I must say, I must tell you that the big giant retailers in India, you name Flipkart, Amazon, Reliance, DMart, are having huge number of security professionals from very low level or the professional level to the C grades, and they are getting recognized promotions, good hikes, good job opportunities, and everything. You just need to go and grab the opportunities. So next, is my screen visible to everyone, sir? Can I get confirmation?
Yes, Ajay.
There is some technological
Yes,
glitch
go ahead.
there. Okay.
Go ahead, Ajay. Yeah.
So you see the security in airlines, you might have seen the Central Industrial Security Forces out there for securities of airports and airlines. But if you all remember, as a result of the events of September 11, 2001, airport and airline security have undergone tremendous scrutiny and changes. Old ways of handling airport security measures were not adequate. Something needed to be done. And apart from deployment of government security agencies, airport and airlines started hiring security professionals for assisting in their security and admin related tasks. So you will see the frequently openings for the various airlines, security supervisors, security agents, security officers in the airlines and at the airport locations also. So keep looking for opportunities and grooming yourself for fitting into those opportunities. So next I will talk about the hotels and hospital security. Guys, these industries were at one time characterized by serious neglect of many security responsibilities, an attitude that has now changed due to a number of serious security incidents at these institutions across the world. The very specific 26/11 Taj attack, nobody can ignore. This past neglect, coupled with security compliance mandated responsibilities, has created opportunity for security professionals in this field also. So opportunities in the hotel industry exist in a great number, both for on-site positions and at the corporate home office level. However, except at the corporate level or the management level in large hotels, the salary range is relatively low in relation to the security industry as a whole. On the other side of the coin, the entry level for the person with a very or any combination of hotel experiences and security education can be quite good, with clear opportunities for advancement. In related area, the future of security in high-rise apartment buildings and housing complexes offers a great potential for the security professionals. These opportunities exist because of growing emphasis on the concept of total environmental protection and the threat of civil suits by residents or guests who are victimized on building property. So see, in like Sai also started their career from hotel industry. I also started my career from hotel industry. So initially having the very basic knowledge of crisis management or the fundamentals of security, you are getting into these industries at lower costs. But this is the time you can work on your skills, work on your knowledge. You can increase your potential to fit in organization at higher levels. So these are the good opportunities you can grab and move ahead. So next I will talk about the campus securities. This campus includes the the university campus, the big campus, residential campus, or also the malls and markets. The rapid progress of campuses security during these past 20 years has created excellent opportunities for career positions in the field. Openings in many progressive and professional campuses departments provide a challenging work environment. These includes a good sized departments in which there might be some line officers, field supervisors, shift supervisors, a coordinator for line operations, and a director. So many departments also have specialized positions such as investigator and training officers. Salaries vary from department to department and from one area to the another within the country or abroad. But again, these are the huge markets where you can go into the field and start your career with less perks and minimum perks compared to the other field. Next is banking sector. Banks complying with the requirement security in a variety of ways. Small operations often delegate security responsibilities to one of the senior bank officers or the bank manager. But larger banks, however, hire security managers, but who are often from government officers with an understanding of regulations regarding currency and frauds, who has been in income tax or this other tax regime or the investigative agencies and all. But there is a heavy reliance on electronic security and physical security rather than on the large staff. Equipment with the CCTV and the other access control and protective equipments available in the market. But still, providing logistic security for cash transition and guarding services for ATM includes the large scope of an independent career aspirants. So this is also inviting the for this you can start up for your own startup also by clubbing 2 or 3 or good aspirants for moving ahead in the field. So next, in a holistic way, we would like to cover the major security services, which includes almost all the services, all the parts we have been discussed in the past slides. So many firms hire their own security staff. Many companies hire their own security staff, but the majority of security officers or supervisors work for contract supervised security agencies. Security officers or supervisors represent a major service provided in the security industry today. In general, security personnel at the lower operational levels earn less in contractor security organizations than they do in proprietary security officers. But this is not necessarily true for investigators and other personnel at higher levels, or somebody is very skilled in very demanding skills and potential, like for in getting into the brand protection or in the investigations. If you are very good at these skills, you can get the money as per your skills and the potential. Young people should seek opportunities in security services organizations, since the growth of security services has been rapid and there is no leveling off in sight. The demand for good executives is insatiable. On another level, there is a demand of technically qualified individuals capable of providing specialized security services, ranging from alarm cells, installations, and services to alarm system consulting, CCTV, and the other security equipment, technological equipment available in the market. So continuing changing the application of security hardware and system will bring an increasing demand for the service of these who can advise users on their selection and implementation. As now new technologies advances, the demand for technologically savvy security professional will increase. It would benefit anyone who is seeking a career in security to develop a solid understanding of different technologies, particularly information technologies, especially those who are having technological background in their graduation, and then they moved into Masters of Arts in Criminology and allied subjects, considering taking specialization in security field. They can go into these vendors and supply for these security technology equipments and gadgets to the market. There is huge market for this avenue. And by this, I would like to summarize by saying although salary levels and the security applications vary in different parts of the world, as well as within the different areas of business and industry, or even within the same type of business or industry, it is nevertheless possible to perceive the coming of age of security throughout the 21st century. Security is seen as more professional than in years past, not only by traditional law enforcement agencies, but also department peers within the organizations it seeks to protect. One thing is for certain, security is not going away anytime soon and will continue to grow given a turbulent economic environment, rising crime levels, and geopolitical, social, and civil unrest around the globe. By this, I would like to conclude and over to you, John, sir. Thank you.
Hey Ajay, thank you so much, man. Within a short period of time, you were able to cover a lot of sectors and industries and roles. I think great insight, especially on the brand protection. A lot of people are not aware of how important reputations are to the organization. Once it is tarnished, it will become very difficult to again come back. So great insights, Ajay. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm going to move on. Ajay, I'm going to present, so I hope you stopped your presentation, right?
Yes, sir. I answered my script.
I request all of you to ping my presentation so that you don't have any disturbance. Great. I know. So both Sai and Ajay touched a lot, right? I keep telling you this because every day you can connect with people. I connect with close to 3 lakhs of employees in Cognizant every day. And every day when I go home, when every day I'm sleeping, the immense satisfaction of touching each life through my work or through my team's work is completely a different experience, an exhilarating experience. And that is why corporate security becomes a very, very exciting opportunity for you to have a career in. When I showed you my JSIC, right? If you've seen it, there is one girl sitting there, and a lot of women are here. You would have had questions of what is my opportunity as a woman in this huge world of opportunities in the security. And she's from the Homeland Security from GFSU, right? So it is very important for you to understand that the opportunities for diversity and inclusivity have increased right from the time we started. And women play a very key role in security operations, investigations, due diligence, background verifications, and physical security as well. The head of Microsoft in Chennai is from Reliance. She's just 5-6 years old into the industry, and she's leading Microsoft in Chennai. So it is very important for you to understand that do not have myths that I cannot be part of it. You can go to Reliance Academy and ask Ajay. He will say a lot about women being part of their academy pass out every year, and that has increased as years gone by. Right. So it is very important for you to understand that. And this is my team. If you really kind of see, it is equal. I have 6 people in my team. 3 are women, 3 are men. So, and out of 7, 5 are criminologists. And then the other 2 are still connected to security studies. One is from Homeland Security, and then the other is from forensic science as well. And you can literally see a civilian group here, which is also encouraging for all of you, because when we all started 15 years back, 10 years back, 12 years back, this is more of an ex-serviceman industry. People who retired from the armed forces, Navy and Air Forces, only had future in this industry, but now it is not. Like finance, like HR, like any other department and organization, civilians are encouraged to come in and do the job of security. It is all about your own skill sets. Sai talked about skill sets. Ajay talked about how diversified skill sets matters a lot. So it is very important for you to understand this, that these are myths in these college and schools and universities, that you cannot be part of this industry, right? So the biggest challenge here, why I took that poll is what you see, you will only see a tip of the iceberg. For example, outside the market, if you really wanted to get into a security industry, there would not be direct recruitment on investigations. There will not be direct recruitment on e-security, background verifications, or command center operators, or intelligence analysts. Very rarely somebody will get it directly come and recruit it. But most of the recruitment happens in physical security. Guard force, transport escorts, whatever Ajay said is mostly physical security, the entry doors for you. Unless you are in the system, you will not be aware of what kind of future opportunities are available. You can move internally from one system to other, or first you get into the corporate security world or the industrial security world. And once you are inside, this is a very close-knit community. You will start understanding opportunities. You will start understanding what skills you need to move on from physical security to intelligence, or move on from command center to investigations. So you will start finding your footprint only when you are inside the system. I see a lot of criminologists who quit before even you understand the system. I see a lot of criminologists impatient before even you identify what this whole world is going to offer you. And that is very, very important, because it becomes very, very difficult if you just see the tip of the iceberg. You go to a shopping mall, you travel in airlines, or you go to a multiplex, and you go to a hotel, or you see ATMs and you see security guards, uniformed security guards, or you see outside the IT parks, you see uniformed security guards, and you think that this is all the security world you're talking about. No, there's so much into the security world where you will get exposure only when you are into the system. So my recommendation for all of you freshers, or all of you who are literally kind of dreaming about a career in corporate security, your first job is to come into the system. Once you enter it, and then you start learning. You are learning, then your skill sets are upgraded. You will find you'll navigate the shores, you'll navigate the storms, and you'll start understanding that my skill set will suit this sector of the corporate security, this of the corporate security, right? Then you will start developing yourself into a better professional, a subject matter expert, depending on where you are, depending on your skill set and your capabilities. So it is very important for you to understand that you better come into the system. Because if you are not coming into the system, waiting outside and trying to find answers, or you will have seniors who got into corporate security and they are not even 2 years old, 18 months old, 1 year old, they will come and tell you that it is not exciting. It is very physically arduous. It is tiring. It is only dealing with guards. Absolutely not. But you all started managing manpower. If you don't know how to manage manpower, when I say man, it's man and women power, staff, how will you become a manager? How will you become a leader? How will you become an executive leadership if you don't know how to handle manpower? You will not be only oriented to technology. Technology is mostly reactive. You need to handle officers. You need to handle guard force. You need to handle executive levels. You need to handle people, instinctive people, emotional people, different cultures, different diversified backgrounds. It is so much entertaining to manage the staff, because you're managing talent, right? So it is very important for you to start managing manpower when you enter, and that will yield you so much of experience for you to take decisions. So Sai talked about decision making. Sai talked about crisis management. You need to be having emotional stability to manage other lives, right? So it is very important for you to understand that you are only seeing a tip of the iceberg when you're sitting outside as a student or a research scholar, as somebody outside the corporate security world. And as Ajay said, or Sai said, as Swikat gave the introduction, the growth has been immense. And it is going to be one of the biggest industry in India. It is going to cross manufacturing industry. Because threats are real, risks are true. And it is very important for you to understand this. So it is going to grow. And recently, one of the students where I got her a job, she's not even finished her course yet. She's due to COVID-19, the colleges have not closed their last semester. And she already got placed. And her starting salary was close to 30,000. A fresher. Right? So you need to understand that if you have the right skill sets and the right way to negotiate and influence people and tell that you are an asset to be hired, recruited, organizations don't have limits. I have had experiences in my personal life that people created designations for me. There was no designation previously in that organization. When they met me, they liked me, they created a better, higher designation for me. Corporate world can do that. If they find a great talent, that's the flexibility you have in the corporate world. They don't want you to miss talents. So it is very important for you to understand all those things. And the key aspect of criminologists understanding security is anywhere in the world you go, security is a cost. That is why in post-COVID situations, after the lockdown ends, only valuable talents will be hired. Only people who can add value into the organization will be hired. Okay, I'm just asking all of you a question. When you want better salary, you want better start, you want better workplace environment, when you want better career growth very soon, when you want value from the organization, and then you don't bring value as a person, as a talent, with your skill sets, with your talent, with your attitude, then how will organizations give you jobs? Or how will organizations give you growth? Or how will organizations send you on travel? How will organizations send you, nominate you for trainings? If you don't add value, then you expect value only from the organization. It is not mutual. The growth will not be mutual. So security is a cost. So my salary is a cost. Sai's salary is a cost. The team's salary is a cost. The command center I have built out is a cost. We don't bring income. Then why is organization spending so much of money on security? It is because one life loss in the workplace or one bad incident, one workplace violence, one sexual harassment case will bring down the whole organization. Security is prevention. That is why so much cost is spent all around the world, so that organizations do not face that one incident which will bring them down. So if you wanted to get into security, you better upgrade your skill sets now. Become a talent which we will pounce on it. The umbrella of security has grown so much in the last 15 years. I have my own peers in this call. I have Ravi here. I think Dinesh is here. I have Sai here, Ajay here. I have other people in security who are already in security. They can tell testimonies of how this industry has grown. Somebody called me a watchman when I started my career. But whatever I've listed here, most of things you would have not even heard about it. And that's where the opportunity lies. So what I wanted to say very quickly is I'm going to very quickly list out why criminologists are preferred. And then I'm going to give you a reason why criminologists are not preferred as well, so that you understand both aspects. There are already people from criminology who have done great work. And that is why people are looking for criminologists or encourage criminologists to get into corporate security or industrial security or whatever security you're talking about. So people have left legacies. You have the blessing of just following it up. The academic background you all have on police administration, security and vigilance, internal security, it all helps. In corporate security, you need to liaise with government officials. When you understand police administration, when you understand how the internal security of this nation works, you really know which door to knock when there is an emergency inside your organization. That is why you need to learn properly your subjects when you are in college. Just coming out and saying that I'm a criminologist with your own certifications of graduation or post-graduation doesn't going to help. I can tell you that I did even once an autopsy. After getting into the corporate world, thank God I learned it during my forensic medicine and my criminology in my master's. What you learn today will help you in your job, wherever you go. You need to understand that. Criminologists are fresh talents, easy to nurture, mold. You have the passion. You have the attitude to learn. There is a fresh mind. We can tune it accordingly to the organizational needs, right? If you have done your dissertations, projects, internships, field visits, you're a matured field worker already. A lot of youngsters, when you get into LinkedIn or when you wanted to build your resume, you don't know what to write in your resume for experience. Who said you don't have experience? Your internships are experience. Your field visits are experience. Your dissertation, your projects are experience. You should know how to sell yourself on what you did. And that is why you don't copy dissertations. Because then you miss that opportunity to gain that experience of meeting society, meeting people. Youngsters are agile, physically fit. It is very important to be physically fit when you get into security, but I don't say that is something mandatory. But when you are physically fit, agile, active, you are saving lives. There are situations that you need to climb 4 floors to save a life, or evacuate thousands and thousands of people in a matter of few minutes from a building. Maybe you need to do CPR for somebody for 15 minutes for a cardiac arrest. If you're not physically fit, you'll be in trouble because lives depend on you. Others expect you to save lives. As I told you, criminology is a subject where it is very much connected to society. So when you have the experience as a student connecting with society more, you will not have fear in talking in front of people. Your presentation skills improve. You will be able to tell a leader that there is a risk, sir. You cannot do this. And then now I'm going to come on to why criminologists are a risk. And nobody would have told you, I will tell you. Right? Vulnerable mind, huh? You don't know what you want. You have no clue what you want. A lot of people in this session have still not decided on a career. When you come for interview, when we ask, what do you want? What salary you want? You give according to market rate, sir. I'll give you 5,500 plus taxes. Will you take it? You don't know what you really want. Sir, I am coming from Patna to Chennai. I have to relocate. I have to live in Chennai in a new city. I have my rent. I have my expenses. So this is my salary I am expecting. You don't know that. You don't know your needs. And then you carry a conditions apply when you come for interview. Often we are confused whether you are the interviewer or I am the interviewer. Should I travel so much, sir? Should I shave? Should I cut my hair? Should I tuck in? How will you learn? without dirtying you, soiling your collar and handcuffs? How will you save lives? And lack of communication skills is a very big problem. Tell me something about yourself. What did you do in criminology for last 2 years or 3 years? You will have crazy answers or no answers. Or even questions like, why did you choose criminology? It's okay, you choose criminology for different reasons, but at least be transparent in telling that, no, I chose criminology for different thoughts, but later on I understood that that is not true, but I got so much of value out of it. Be transparent. You couldn't even explain what you are, what you bring to the organization. Then how will the organization expect, you're expecting organizations to take you inside? And then once you come into the organization, then there is a bigger problem. You will be staying there for 2 months, 6 months, you will quit. And the next year, your junior will be coming who is really in need of a job. And you will not be able to provide a job because the one who quit did not even understand that there are people waiting in line. And today, you see the number of attendees is 142. The registration closed for 250 people. There are so many who were waiting to get registered, they couldn't register for the session. And more than 100 people did not attend it. You are living in a society. Do not spoil others' opportunities. Sai talked about sustainability. Switching over jobs 6 months, 8 months. Somebody gave you 11,000, somebody will give you 14,000, you will jump for 3,000. You will have your own reasons to quit. You can move like that, but after one point of time, after 3 years and 4 years, you'll get stagnated. You will not become a manager, you will not become a leader. If you don't sustain in organizations and grow in the same organization, learning, growing in the same organization, proving in the same organization. When we all started, there was no benchmarks for us. Now you have LinkedIn, you have so many people doing workshops, courses on security. Jobs are more easier nowadays. So you have an easy mindset as well. Sai and me started around 5,000, 6,000 bucks when we started in hotel industry. I used to walk back to the hotel to just eat in the staff canteen because I had to survive, even if I'm not in shift. Because food was. And you would be the first person to demotivate your junior. When somebody joins criminologist, you will first ask, why did you join here? There is no scope. There is no job. Don't put your perception into somebody's mindset. If you cannot help, shut your mouth. I am a criminologist. I have always carried criminology till today. And my identity is criminology. Sai, Ravi, Dinesh, were all criminologists. We are proud to say criminologists. Look at good examples. If you cannot survive, that is your problem. Do not demotivate others. And then when we get jobs for you, then you become a threat to us as well. Because it's a very closed industry. You quit. Okay, you want a job. You ask me. I call up Sai. Because of I called up, Sai gives an opportunity to a junior without even knowing that person. Just because the word criminology or forensic science or whatever it is. And then you quit. How will I go to Sai next time? And this is something every criminology student has it. That department will get you jobs. Your own departments in your own universities. Why should department get you jobs? Department will give you opportunities to learn, add skill sets, give you industrial visits, bring you experts to teach you. Criminology is an amazing subject. You build your skill set, you sell yourself, go outside and find your identity. Blaming others for not growing, blaming others for your failures. So I just wanted to very quickly quit before we go into the question answer session. Please understand that corporate security is such an exciting area to have a career. And every day, great experiences. Couple of weeks back, my team connected with 18,648 people, my employees who lived in Kolkata and around Kolkata when Cyclone Amphan hit. And we ensured that everybody was safe along with their families. When I went back after 4 days of checking, because there were disconnectivity in telecommunications in Kolkata, flooding, my team celebrated because we were able to check each one of our employees that they were safe. There was a situation in midnight call from Saudi Arabia 2 years back. I lost my husband in cardiac arrest. He was an employee, and all his financial data about his family was inside a personal laptop, and wife couldn't even have money to transport the cops from Saudi Arabia to Chennai. The whole night, we cybersecurity professionals in our own company sat down, cracked that laptop, took the details out, and gave it to the wife. These are experiences you will never ever get in any other job. There were Sri Lankan bomb blasts, there are Easter bombings in Sri Lanka 1.5 years back, last Easter, I guess. We had 5 travelers there, and we were able to pull out all the 5 travelers when the parents were worried sitting in India from Colombo in less than 24 hours. This job will not be monotonous. This job will not be boring. That is why this workshop is done. And I would say this workshop is just a beginning. This is a very short time to tell each and everything about corporate security. Maybe we'll talk a lot in a more detailed session. I encourage universities to allow experts to teach. That is when you will be able to hear experiences like this, case studies like this, what happens in industries and corporate worlds. Because the reality is different, and what you teach is theory mostly. Post-COVID, it is going to be challenging, but it is going to be so much of opportunities of people and talents who are very, 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 very skillful and valuable to organizations. What you demand, you will get it if you are really skillful. Right. Questions? Very quickly, we have half an hour. Questions. Ask questions, because don't go out without in the session without asking a question, because this is an opportunity to get direct answers from the experts. Go for it. If you want to do kind of put your questions on the chat box, great, or raise your hands. You will be unmuted, and kind of then you can kind of raise a question very quickly. At least 10 beautiful questions so that everyone gets benefited out of this question.
Hi, sir. This is Anisha. I need to ask question to John.
Yep, please go ahead.
Sir, I can't able to hear you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, do you want to learn cyber security courses like ethical hacking, networking to get a job in security, corporate security field?
See, again, these certifications, when you all learn, right, then those certifications alone will not get you jobs. You need to test that certification. You need to do internships. I see somebody posting in LinkedIn, I did 65 certifications. online courses and posted 65 certificates in the lockdown. You did not even have time to test one certificate, whether it worked in your life, in your professional career, or in your student life. How will it become turned into a skill set when you just do keep certifications done? I have not done even one certification in the last 90 days. But I've learned so much of COVID-19. So cyber security or whatever security certifications you want to do it. You need to go and knock doors, find opportunities, go to a startup, see how cyber security is done, information security is done. Hands-on experience matters. Just mere certification of job opportunities. That is why so much of focus I was telling about internships. And internships, people will not be ready to open doors and come and join internship. Corporate security does not have more internships because you will get into organizations and no organizations can go out. It itself is a cyber security threat or information security threat. So you need to be smart enough, connect with people, knock doors again and again, tell them that you need to learn, speak to people more. Even if internships are not there, speak to experts more one-on-one. Certifications does help. I've not even used my gold medal certificate even once in the last 15 years. Nobody asked me, show me a gold medal certificate in criminology. So if students are obsessed with certifications, I get students like, I'm going to do a course. I'm going to do a webinar. The next question will be, will I get a certificate? What you learn in that webinar, you don't worry about it. So I'm saying that's a good question, Anisha. You can do certifications, but after you do certifications, give them the time to learn through the certification. That is my recommendation. Did I answer your question, Anisha?
Sir, thank you. It was a great day being in this webinar and helped
Thank you
me
so
a
much.
lot. Actually, I was a Cognizant employee and I quitted my job and I am studying in criminology in Madras
Great.
University. And I have never known that this type of corporate security is there. Before that, I came to know by this webinar, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Next question. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Brand protection. Yeah, you can answer, Ajay. There's a question on the chat box.
Thank you, sir. Somebody asked the question regarding the brand protection, Bhavika Patni, right? Can you share the question is, can you share some more information on brand protection and how can we learn more about it? Any courses you can suggest? Thank you, Bhavika, for asking this question. And actually, the brand protection done especially for the corporate world in, for securing the reputation, especially the products by the companies, the brands. So what is being done in market? You see, the common notation is regarding the Chinese products, or you see the counterfeiting products or the fake products of the famous brands. So how you do with the basic skills in the are included in the syllabus of security management or in the specialization under the courses of criminology, the investigative skills, interviewing skills. So these skills and these courses, if are the part of your syllabus, may help you to getting into the jobs. Otherwise, you can get, there are numerous academies across the country, outside the country also. There are hundreds of institutions which provides you the certificate course in 3 months, 6 months, diploma, which are specialized in these skills, and they themselves give you opportunity to be part of their organization, being the the contractors or for the hiring or being freelancers for these companies to getting into these jobs. So if these skills, these topics are included in your syllabus good enough, you can enhance your skills by pursuing various specific course. ASIS provides the specific course on CFEs, but still, again, this require a lot of experience in the field. So for beginners, you just get to know the very basic
it is not Shivkumar Yadav. It is always accompanied by Uber. That is why organizations are worried about brand, right? If something goes wrong, it will always be accompanied with the organization's name, and you can never remove it, right? It becomes very, very important to protect the brand. But again, you will not see brand protection officer recruited. You need to get into the system, and then inside, then there will be opportunities for you to get into a brand protection division. Next question: psychologist, forensic psychology, how to get into it? Again, what scope you have inside corporate security world? I think investigations is a great area to kind of look into it. Due diligence, background verifications, kind of there is a new developing situation, a sector called insider threat, where more threats are inside into the organizations, not from outside. We don't have terrorist attacks daily, or even years or decades. But the bigger problem is insider threats. Employees becoming the threat, right? Your own assets turning against you. The assets who left the organization becomes your threat. So that is where psychology can help. But the bigger problem is somebody should get inside and then become the road for psychology people inside corporate security. The problem is when we all started, we created the road. Now we have examples to refer to. The other fields, I see that people are staying outside and trying to find answers staying outside. Do I have an opportunity? Can I come inside? If I go, will I have a future? You need to get inside. There are situations in life you need to take risks, calculated risks, believe in your ability. Get inside. You become the example. You become the role model for people to follow you. There will be clinical psychologists following you if you take the risk in 20, right? So I think as of now, that's all I could say, but you can connect me one-on-one through LinkedIn and talk more. Apart from criminology, except corporate security, what is the opportunity? Those professors and lecturers who teach, because sad part, right? So we founded, we created an opportunity, we have built an empire in corporate security. The other parts, it's a sorry state, I'll tell you, right? If I ask criminology student, tell me something, what are you going to do? Except research, except JRF, PhDs, except lecturing in a small college, I don't see people saying me anything apart from corporate security, right? So it's a sorry state, or getting into an NGO. These are things I've heard about it, but I'm an expert in corporate security, and I'll stay with that. And I think the professors need to answer this question, right? Great. Risk in department and information security and life insurance. How to further my career? Okay, risk management is a great area. Risk is a bigger concept. Understand business continuity, understand crisis management. Kind of maybe do courses and get into organizations which specialize on risk management, advisories. Like there are organizations like KPMG, there are organizations like MidCat who do bigger risk management roles for organizations, consulting, right? So these are things where you can kind of explore. Risk management is a very big concept. Risk is a very big word. Corporate security becomes one part of the risk as well, right? So yeah, and Maria, due diligence. Sorry. Okay, due diligence is nothing but same background verification, but done on vendors, done on entities, corporates. For example, somebody is delivering a bubble top of water cans, so somebody delivering tissue papers, or somebody delivering a HR consultant to Cognizant, right? Doing a background verification of these entities, the other corporates who are your service providers, even if they do any kind of financial manipulations, or even they do have any problems. For example, we hire security vendors, then there are security guards. We need to do a due diligence, a background verification of this industry or this whole sector or this organization, so that we don't employ people or organizations which will become a risk to us. So due diligence is investigating and doing a background verification of big who are counterparts or partners with you. right? That's called due diligence. Um, Internships or get placed in corporate. How should I proceed? I'm a BA criminology student, right? Build your resume, build your profile, right? Go and knock doors. Tell that you are a great talent. You need to in 2 days, week, 15 days. Recently, I saw a young student create a group on LinkedIn, beautiful profile. He then went on an internship opportunity with a beautiful way of narrative and a beautiful profile, saying that I'm a student, I'm in second semester, I'm going to do internships, I have this talent, and he created a beautiful one-page PDF profile and asked ethically and asked with so much of professionalism. He had so much of internship opportunities offered, and he had to select which one to go. Right? It's all about how smart you are. The world is full of opportunities. Be prepared, right? I see resumes like marriage biodata, right? Father's name, mother's name, date of birth, which place I'm from. This is my personal address. Who wants all these things? Tell me about your dissertation. Tell me about your projects. Tell me about your industrial visits. Tell me about your internships. Tell me about what you learned in corporate sector criminology in your uh, resume. Then we will provide internships.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, I want to tell you about my challenges and I want to ask what the solution of this.
Very quickly, please.
Okay, I'm talking about like 1.5 year back. After working for 3 months in private detective agency, I went to securities company for interview for the post of branch manager, like handle guard, train them, reallocate them. So whenever like I went to security company and Pinkerton investigation security company, so whenever I went there, they always say you are girl. How can you handle guard? You should have strict voice or like thick voice to handle them, and I always try to gain their trust, like, sir, I can do this, you can see for 2 days, you can see my work for 2 days. If you don't like it, then you fire me. I worked in private detective agencies also. This is also very hard for girls. So they always give priority to boys for these kind of posts instead of girls. And I always try to make like they just one time they trust me. If they didn't like, then they can fire me, then they can reject me, but they never give me one opportunities. Can you tell me how to trick them? How can I gain their trust? I had in my internship for 6 months in G for a security company. I have my experience of this branch manager, field visit also, but never succeed to gain their trust.
That's an awesome question. And right, so women in security was not there, and still this myth of when who the boss is, that is how the team would be, right? If what they believe, then they will transcend that attitude towards the whole branch, whole organization, right? I would not encourage you to trick them. You should not work in such kind of organizations. Inclusivity and diversity has become a very big part in big organizations. You need to identify. I showed you my slide, right? My team, right? How many women were there? Out of 7, 3 are women. Out of 6 people, equally women, right? So there are organizations which encourage women, and it becomes, that is where it becomes, networking becomes very, very important. That is where it becomes very important for you to talk to experts. That is where you need to first believe in yourself as well. And I'm happy that you have so much of belief, but do not knock such kind of organizations again and again. For example, if those organizations are built in such a way that only ex-servicemen can do the job, only male can do the job, and they are absolutely nuts, right? And I told you about a case where Microsoft is led by a woman in Chennai, and she should be a senior of Ajay or maybe a colleague of Ajay. You go to Ajay and ask how many women are there in Reliance pass-out parade every year. It is keeping on increasing. So
yes, sir. Whenever I ask them, they say me, you can do work of data entry, you can take call of client and take tender, you can do this kind of work. And I say I want to do field work. I want to do this kind of work only. And obviously, my private detective agency work is field work. So
Correct.
data entry is not my kind of forte. But
I understand.
yeah,
So I think we all, myself, Sai, Ravi, Dinesh, we all broke the myth of this industry being an ex-serviceman industry. Ajay, including Ajay. And now we have also broken the myth of women cannot be part of corporate security, right? My teams always had women supervisors, leaders, team leads. You can come and ask me great stories about the women in my team. I have great stories. So be ready to travel, Jyoti. Be ready to relocate. Be ready to knock out the right organizations, which needs guidance, right? And that is why you need to network with right people, good people, right? So the people would find you as a right talent. And once you get into the right organization, your career changes. Maybe initially that would be a struggle, but you will find it. Okay?
yeah. So after this, I started work in prison for
Yeah,
the rehabilitation and reformation of prisoners. Now, uh, after this, now I will try for security agencies again.
yeah.
John, shall I add something on this?
Please, Ravi.
Sorry, yeah. Jyoti, you have to find out the right place, as John said. At the same time, the industry is what you are looking at is a security service providing industry. So when you look out on a service providing industry, there is predominantly dominated with the male supervisors kind of things. So there are industries in security. See, security has many industries, as Ajay listed out. See, 80% of security supervisors or security professionals in airlines are ladies
Yes,
or
sir.
females. A retail industry, 50 out of 50s are females. Right example is Reliance. Reliance is they have a retail industry. They have a 50 out of 50 people in females. So you just look out in that kind of opportunity where you can able to deliver your complete potential there instead of looking out to the service providing industry. See, if you want to become a security entrepreneur, like a service provide entrepreneur, that industry would be right. So you have to fix your in the goal. As Sai and our team mentioned, you first fix your goal in the second year itself. Then you have to travel towards. Then only you could able to identify which is the right platform and which is the right door to knock. That's what I want to add, John. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ravi.
sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
I think we are at what time? We still have around 15 minutes of time, or no, 10 minutes of time. Any other questions? I know I see a lot of questions you have typed in, and if you know, I'm just browsing through it. Uh, but anyone wants to ask a question, go for it. I'll answer a couple of questions, and if you really wanted to stay for a few more minutes, I'm available. Sai is available. Ajay is available too, and Dinesh and Ravi is available too. Anyone wants to ask a question, go for it.
So, good morning, sir. This is Ritik, and my question is towards John, sir. So, actually, I
Yeah.
have a doubt, sir. So, you said about the airline security being a good opportunity for the students in criminology. So, what is the
Mhm.
opportunity and what is the work get there in the airline security? While there is a security works done by CISF. So, what is the role of
Shall,
us while doing?
shall I take
Absolutely.
this question, John?
Yeah, Ravi. I'll just add my point and you can take it
Please,
forward.
please.
See, that's where I say you see the light. When you go to airports, you only see CASF guarding the entrance. But every airliner, SpiceJet, Indigo, Vistara, whatever, they need screeners. They need baggage screeners. They need people on the tarmac checking the aircraft on for lost and found, checking the aircraft for smuggled goods inside their aircraft. So every aviation in the organization, airliner, they have their own security units, and the only baggage screening certificate you will be able to get, you will not be able to get it outside. Only if you are inside the aviation industry, you will be able to get a screener certification. So that becomes very special. So every aviation industry will come out for call for opportunities for youngsters to join. Initially, it will be physically arduous, but the amount of experience you will get on aviation industry, like screening, baggage screening, Within couple of minutes, you need to scan 10 baggages for explosives, narcotics, contraband substances. These are all done by youngsters. These are all done by private people, right? And these are all civil security people, right? So, Ravi, you want to add quickly?
Uh, this is starts from the airport guarding section. So the
Yeah.
people who takes into the say airline security, they've been placed from the airport guarding. From the airport guarding, they used to just move ahead to the next level of BCA's basic course. There is AFSEC course. They provide a AFSEC course from the airline. They used to give you first basic AFSEC course for 13 days. You have to get pass with 80 percentage of mark, pass with 80 percentage. If you are less than 80 percentage, you should not get pass. Then you have to work as a profile coordinator, or you have to do a passenger profiling. Passenger profiling, you've been moved to screeners, then you've been moved to trainers. There is a big growth in that industry. A sad part is we don't have any criminologists in Chennai airport in because I've been in airport for last 5 years. No criminologists I couldn't able to find. There is a airport guarding level itself, because our people basically, as John said, we start with the rosy picture. We have to start from the bottom, then only we can able to climb that ladder. So that is the one in airline industry. And the airline industry has a big opportunity to get your knowledge enriched day by day, because you have only 2 or 3 flights, and you have plenty of time to read about aircraft securities, so many things. Then you have an opportunity to get into the government agencies also, if you are getting a well experienced in airline area securities. That is a biggest, plenty of opportunity. Currently we have only one guy who been selected with the airport Air India. He is working at Thiruvananthapuram from Tirunelveli University. I can find out only one guy from the entire Tamil Nadu from the criminologist background. I could identify last 5 6 years. The biggest thing is the regional security head of Southern is a criminologist who passed out to 1997 from the Madras University.
So
For your
that is why
information.
that is why people, you need to connect with people. You need to know the industry even more in depth, and that is why this workshop is not enough. This 2 hours is not enough, but it is a good start. Thank you, Speaker and Jayesh for pushing this start. But I think you should have more sessions talking about each sector. I think then people will have more insight, and there are already people. You have Ravi, you have Dinesh, you have Sai, Ajay. We can all help you in pursuing your careers. But you cannot be dumb and expect a valuable workplace. That's, I can be very transparent and say to you on the face. If you have the skill set, you are ready to hard work, then your growth will be immense. Somebody was talking about government sectors. Government doesn't call for every year. Government doesn't give you bonuses every year. Government doesn't give you promotions every 2 years. See the technology what we deal with. I handled a vapor tracer well before even NSG bought a vapor tracer. You understand? So corporate world can invest. Corporate world is very scalable, dynamic. They manage threats. Recently, one of the DCPs spoke to me. He wants to visit Joint Security Intelligence Center to have an idea how this works. And he wants to build it for the Tamil Nadu police. And these are only corporates can do. So government sectors, why they have not called for, why there is no opportunities, or why you want opportunities in government sector for criminology students? That's all for the academicians to do it. So the questions has to be for the academicians to do why there are no opportunities for criminologists in government sector. I think they are the ones to answer that. Any other questions? Last 2 questions. Anything? Any questions?
Sir,
Yeah, please.
Doctor, somebody asked in the chat box regarding Niharika. Hi, you just stated about the Reliance security, but I just wanted to confirm if they recruit apart from the entrance they conduct. As I don't see people getting into direct interviews, if you could please just clarify it. Okay, Niharika, so just to clarify this question, the routine and frequent entrance to the Reliance Security Force is a trend, but it is not restricted to these entries only, because these entries are at the professional level. There are, in my introduction, in my presentation, I talked about there are three levels: the professionals, manager, and the executive level. So at manager and executive level, they recruit with the professionals with the extended experience, knowledge in the field, and specifically with domains and specific knowledge in risk management, security operations, handling security operation centers in retail, loss prevention. So likewise, they hire a person from the experience field apart from the routine entries. So if you have better experience and experience in other industries, you can switch into the Reliance, having the desired and potential skills and knowledge.
Thank you, Ajay, for the clarification. My question only came up why because having given few entrances and having NCC background and then additionally having this criminology as my qualifications and presently since working with the G4S for past 2 years already, it gives me an opportunity to think and widen my approach as to why not just venture out even in the Reliance. And since Reliance has always put up their notifications regarding their entrances, and since all of us now that we have started moving ahead and we have crossed our age bars, I always wonder how do we, approach such industries which can where we can actually also put in our knowledge to improve them with our capabilities, and they can also venture out with our capabilities to improve upon their services.
So Niharika, for this, I would like to suggest you being connected with the people who are already in the industry. So LinkedIn is one profile, one platform where you can connect with the people who are already in industries, because these openings first are offered to the in-house talent. So in-house talents will be given preference for those openings, and apart from that, they are publishing these openings to the outer world. But again, as said by John sir, these openings at higher level, at manager and director and C grade level, are not to everyone. They seek the potential that is very crucial for operation, crucial for business. So you need to be connected with the people who are already in the industry, in the business. They can help you out getting these opportunities in the future.
Niharika, you can also look at opportunities. I see you have good communication skills. If you have good writing skills and you are passionate about reading around the globe what's happening, you can also look at opportunities on intelligence and advisory, which is growing. Keep me informed. Connect with me. Let me see what I can guide you into. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, Ajay, and thank you, John, for this exposure to the sector. The only thing is, this was the first time I had ended up joining this hangout meet to know about how it is going. I do notice a lot of notifications coming up in our NICFS group of alumni to venture out such hangout meetings to know about how people are doing in the sector. So this was the first experience of I have gained, and honestly, I am really happy to be part of this. And I would definitely look forward to connecting with you guys more to know how we can, look further ahead in the future. And then surely you guys can definitely help me out to see where we can pursue our careers more.
Great. Thank you so much for the feedback as well. And continue, everyone, please share your feedback. There is a feedback form which is being circulated. Is there any other last question before we wanted to close it down?
Sorry if I could just interrupt.
Yeah, please.
Share your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, it is. You can just type John Paul Manickam, my full name, John Paul Manickam, JOHNPAULMANICKAM, John Paul Manickam, Sailapathy, SAILAPATHY, Sailapathy Rajendran, and Ajay Singh Rathore. So it's our full names. Just go for it and search for it. You will get it.
Yep.
Some,
Thank you.
someone also shared it in the chat box as well. You can just browse through the chat box. Somebody shared my LinkedIn profile. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? The last question before we close it out. We are already 12.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, this is Vasant.
Yes, Vasant.
Sir, I have a question. You said about the intensive certificates, workshop certificates.
Yeah.
This kind of certificates are verified and considered by private sectors. My question was, this kind of internship certificates, workshop certificates, and other certificates related to our subjects will they consider our certificates in all government sectors like UPSC, State Service Commission, and Armed Police Forces?
So you see, again, for example, you are sitting in an interview in UPSC or Group 1 in your state. Right? They will not verify your certificate, but when you say that you've learned these things, they will verify your experience. They verify if you are able to execute things. All right. So again and again, my insistence to every one of you is these certificates, right? Where you are obsessed about it. You should be able to tell other people that due to the certificate, I was able to do this. Due to the certificate, my skill set has been developed like this. I was able to handle few situations because I did this course. That is where you need to build your skill set. That is where you need to build your communication skills, to negotiate influence. I have done the certificate and I have the skill set, so you need to pay me this much. You should be able to demonstrate it. Even in governmental interviews, SSB interviews, you should be happy enough to say that you did internships, you did certification courses and all those things. But you need to carry that attitude and carry that skill set and knowledge with you. Not that paper. That is what I want all youngsters to focus on. Because that is not going to help you. So if you really do a certification course, you to at least spend 2 weeks, or even if it is a course value, I saw value of 10,000 bucks, 5,000 bucks certifications in this lockdown. You should definitely give 3 months or 6 months for you to learn that and make it as a skill set so that you can confidently put it in your resume and say, I have the skill set now because of the certification I did. You will, by your own instinct, you will start regretting that I paid 5,000 and 10,000, but I'm not doing anything with that. You will start regretting. So whenever you do certifications and learnings, give time for you to execute it. See if you can make that as a skill set. See if that becomes your selling point on your interviews. Then it is worthwhile. And it can be a selling point anywhere. It doesn't have to be corporate. It doesn't have to be governmental institutions. It can be even global institutions. I have a student who became an investigator in National Human Rights Commission as a full-timer investigator. But after 3 years, he toiled as private investigator. He toiled as investigator in NGOs. And then that transition happened. If you don't learn, if you don't invest time and years or months learning, then you will not be able to expect a door to open for you. You will not be able to expect values to come up in your life. Great salaries. So when you do certifications, go back, spend some time, discuss with people, see if that helps you, see what works, what didn't work. How many of you have gone back to a presenter and said, what you said, I tried, things didn't work or things worked? How many people have went? I saw people running to the next webinar now. In a day, you attend 5 webinars. And at the end of the day, tomorrow when you wake up, you will not have even one knowledge about it. So learning doesn't happen that way. Learning needs time. Learning needs unlearning, breaking myths, testing yourself, innovating. Thanks, Vasan, for the question. Great. I think, can I end it? Or I see close to 90 people still on. I'm happy that you people are listening. You have any questions for Sai? You have any questions for me? I think please reach out to us in LinkedIn. Reach out to us. If you have my numbers, reach out. We'll see what we can do. Right. And thank you, Ravi, Dinesh, for being here. We value your presence. Speaker, over to you. Thank you so much.
Hello, thank you so much, sir. So now I'll just like to. Hello.
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 Am I audible, sir?
Okay. Thank you so much. Well, first of all, I would like to thank all the resource persons, all the three resource persons, Mr. John, Sir John, Sir, Sailapathy, Sir, and Mr. Ajay, for providing a very informative session. And despite their busy schedule, they have provided us with their knowledge and time, and we are very thankful and grateful for that. Apart from the speakers, we also had Ravi Chandran sir, who is also has an experience around 10 plus in security management, and we have participants from across fields. We had the additional director of Northeastern Police Academy with us, so we are thankful to Dr. Gebrati Channabam ma'am also, who was there with us, and we have HODs, faculty members in this session who have given the patient hearing, and also all the participants, including students and all. Last but not the least, I would like to thank Mr. Jayesh Kumar, who has done the heavy lifting of arranging all the workshop, the technical things, the certificates, the registration and everything, and also Mr. Sameer Kumar Sinha, criminology student, who has helped us with all the technical things. Thank you once again. I am sure it will be a very helpful thing for all the students who want to join corporate security and industrial security, and they have gained more knowledge. And as John sir was discussing with me yesterday, I think this should only be the beginning, and the students should be in touch with these wonderful people who are more than willing to help you, and you should learn more from them. And that's all. Thank you so much from our department, and thank you from Sardar Patel University. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Thank you, all the great leaders who are here. Thank you so much. Bye.